Okay, cool. So next we are going to apply same kind of operation that we did here for the body and head. So let's extract the head and body from the model here. Yeah, just use split and then just use the SOP material path for selection. And yeah, we got a body and we got a head. And after that, we are going to apply the large path name like this. So let's copy this guy here and connect the first first output with the split body. Name it just body maybe. And if you look at this attribute create null, you can see that there is a attribute called the large path name created and it's set to body. Next, I'm gonna apply the middle parts and small parts to attribute for this guy. Yeah, just create another node and then make it inside the it's called the subnetwork, and then name it like as it is, naming small parts like that. There's things that you need to make sure. You need to think about how the human body moves. For example, when the body bend like this, the chest will be something like this, and the stomach will be something like this, and then the waist will be maybe kind of like this. So you can't have the model that goes through like from bottom to top. For example, if you have like the tube or cylinder or something, that's the size is something like this, and when the body bends like this, the cylinder, doesn't follow the movement. So you need to split this big model into like 3 pieces or something, and then you need to apply the rig based on it. So ideally, you shouldn't have the model which scale is like that big. But if you have it, you just need to manually select that model and then fix it. And in our robot model, if you use the explode view node, you'll be able to see how each part looks like. And if you turn on the selection mode, and if you select based on the name, you will notice that there's a big part which is going through like from around the waist and the chest. So we are going to split this big piece into 3 parts. That is what I'm going to that is what I'm going to do first. And then we are going to apply the naming convention based on the position. Okay, here I got a like modification process of the big parts and just split the big parts based on the name attribute. And yeah, I just selected each primitive manually like this, and then created new name attribute for each. So yeah, name this guy as body 999, and then this guy 998, this guy body 997, so that this number doesn't, so that this number doesn't match with the one that already exists. Cool. Now we are going to create middle part attribute. So we are going to just follow the workflow that we did inside this one. We are going to select the path based on the name attribute and then split it into like couple of the middle parts. Here I got the result of my split. So this one is splitting the how it's called. It's a waist cover. Not sure how it's called. Yeah, this is the body, and I split it. This cover first. Get those covers. Next, I split it the chest parts. Yeah, the chest parts, the parts on the top of the body, And this guy, this is something so like some parts under the chest. And this guy is the waist or stomach something. And then also we got like waist cover here, and we got a waist. I don't know, sorry, the back parts. And the rest of the parts will be the waist. Yes. Cool. So we got a split or like finger parts. So we are going to give them a naming attribute. Do same kind of thing for each single piece. Just create null node and name it as you want. Like in this case, I just name it as cover A, and then create another attribute create node, and then set string to awk input. So it's picking up the node name, which is connected to this node. So we got here we got a character name, large parts name as body, and then middle parts name as cover A. So yeah, let's do the same kind of thing for all middle parts. Okay, I got everything for all middle parts. I got this one. I named this one's chest, and then we got a chest attribute. Yeah, we got a middle parts attribute name. Sorry, middle parts name set to chest, and then name this guy as Frank, and then yeah, we got a Frank attribute, and then stomach, and name this guy as cover B. Yeah, this guy was cover A, and then I named this guy as cover B, and then we got a cover B attribute on the middle parts name, and then also we got a back parts and waist parts. By the way, if you click Shift S, you can switch the type of your node connection. It's up to your preference. Okay, next, so we got a middle parts name for each middle parts. Next, we are going to create small parts name for each small parts. I mean, so it's gonna be big manually and it will take time. But we are going to do the same kind of thing as we did here. Just pick up just pick up small object based on the name attribute, or based on your idea of the animation, and then name it as like parts A, parts B, or like if you want to give them like specific naming, yeah, feel free to do that. Okay, I got a result of the small parts name creation for this cover A. I just selected these big parts and then set those as the parts A, and then this guy as parts B, and then this part on the center as part C, and this part center part D, and then other stuff except to root comma A, which will be the parent for others. So my idea for transformation will be this part, this wing, I don't know, this blade will move like this, and then this part also moves like this, and then also this parts and this parts and this parts moves like independently, like this. If you want to know these small parts, you just need to select it and then separate, give them a different name. But it's up to you. Okay, let's create the small parts attribute for other little parts. Okay, here I finish creating small parts attribute for everything. So let's see how they looks like. Just add color node and then randomize color based on attribute. So change the class to primitive, and the color type should be random from attribute. set to small path name. Yeah, this is how my separation looks like. So I wanted to move. I wanted to animate this guy as well. I wanted to animate this guy as well. And I wanted to animate this guy as well. If you want to, you can separate this cylinder as separated. You can like separate this panel as separated, but it's up to you. Yeah, so this is the how separation of the chest looks like. And then this is how the flank looks like. And then this is how the stomach separation looks like. I didn't go crazy. I didn't select these small pieces because it will take time. But if you have time, feel free to go with it. And this guy is cover B, and then back A, and then this is the waist. And make sure to have at least the one root geometry, which will be like parent for other pieces. It's kind of important. Okay, so let's connect them together with the merge node. Merge. And then, okay, let's finish the naming of a small parts for the body. Cool. Okay, so now we got a character name, we got a middle parts name, we got a small parts name. So we need to apply those guys as the name attribute as we did for our arms. So we can just copy this guy and set this side as center. Let's see how the naming looks like. Yeah, we got a character name, the big parts name. The character name, big parts name, middle parts name, and the side. And we got a small parts name and the shape. Yep, I think it's working. But there's one more thing that I want to do for the body parts. It is when you think about like the body plate on the chest, and when you think about like those movement, or for example, these guys, this guy and this guy, at this point, they have same naming, which means in animation, if I move this guy from left to right, this guy will follow like this. And if I transform, if I rotate this guy, for example, on the y-axis, like this guy also going to follow the transform like this. But in a transform animation, what I want to do is I want to move them like in opposite way. So like when these panels moves like this, the other one should move in opposite way like this. Does that make sense? To do that, we need to separate them into like different so we need to give them different naming so that we can have different legs for them. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to select the parts that I want to apply different transform operation on the other side, and then separate it to different object. Like I will give them different naming. I know it's a bit complicated, but okay, let's see how it works. So what I will do is I'm going to create a split node and then select the object that I want to apply different transform. Like I want to apply the opposite transform based on the y-axis. So maybe this panel, this panel, this panel. I want I want to move them in a opposite way, like this. So I'm gonna split them. Cool. Then yeah, those are the paths. Those are the paths that I want. I want them to move in different way compared to the other side. So I'm going to give them a different naming for those guys. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to apply the for each operation based on connectivity, and then if the parts is located on the right side of the body, give them like another index called light. Sorry. And if the parts is located on the left side of the body, I'm going to give them the index called left. In this case, we are not going to use just L and R so that there will be difference. There will be difference between the L and R that we created before. Okay, so let's create the for each loop based on connectivity. And I'm going to create the attribute wrangle node, and maybe name it like the name attribute center. Yeah, we already have naming here. We already have name attribute created here, but I'm going to decreate a naming attribute for those guys. So I'm gonna do like same kind of thing, but we will end up having like another index on it. So maybe yeah, copy this guy. Or we can just copy this guy here and then use this guy as a start. Here we are storing called side, and also we need to check if the point is located on the left side or right side of the center. So I'm going to create the vector called the center of the object equals I'm gonna use get bbbox underscore center. This is the best function which you can get the center vector position. Yep, the input geometry. Now we got a center position of the input geometry, which is this guy. So next what we're gonna do is use like if function. If this position, center, is bigger or less, in this case less than 0, we are going to give them a index attribute called light, and light. And if the center is bigger than the 0, it's gonna be the left. Okay. So another storing called storing maybe small part side. And if the center dot x value of center is bigger than 0 or maybe 0.01, just in case, okay, let's set this storing small part side as left. Okay, so small part side should be the left. And else if copy this guy, else if the center that x is smaller than 0.01, small part side should be right. And we are going to add this small part side as new index for the name attribute. So maybe add this guy after this small part name. Then we got another index called left or right after small part's name. For the parts you want to apply different transform operation based on y-axis. Okay, let's see. For example, if you extract this guy, get it? Yeah, because the parts is located on the left side of the body, it get the index called left after small parts attribute. Cool. Okay, merge this guy with the rest of the body parts, and yeah, they are ready. The naming attribute is ready for naming. Okay, now we finished creating naming attribute for the body. So we're gonna do the same kind of thing for our head. We're gonna head here and just copy this guy and then name as head. Then we have large parts name attribute called the head. Yeah, it's working here. They work and separate middle parts and small parts and give them different naming attribute. So it's good. The subnetwork here. And we are going to separate the object into middle parts. Maybe it should be like neck and face and ear cover. So yeah, this is how I separated them. Here I got a face, here I got a cover, and here I got a cover too. And the rest will be the neck. So for the face, give a middle part's name attribute called the face. Yeah, we got a face, and then for the cover, just name. Sorry, it's called ear. So we got a face and ear, and also we have a neck cover and neck. Yep. And yeah, we will do the same kind of thing. Just pick up just select object based on your preference. How you want to move your parts, and then give them different small parts attribute name. And then yeah, change class to primitive, and then maybe this should be small parts name, and then select them manually based on the name attribute. If you want to move like this guy together, select them and hit enter. Then maybe in my case, move this guy and this guy together and hit enter, and set as parts A something. Yep, it's got parts A small parts attribute. And if you want to check how it looks like, just add color node and then set the color, the class to primitive, and then randomize color based on the attribute. I finished creating naming for smaller parts. This is the head, and it looks like something like this. Yep. So these parts move together, and then these red parts move together, and then this green parts will move together, and then this eye and this, the pinkish waves together. And I separated this screw. I don't know how it's called. These parts, I separated them from the purple parts so that I can rotate this guy independently. Yeah, this is the face, and this is the ear. Yeah, we only have like 3 parts separation, and yeah, neck cover. I didn't create any separation for this part because I thought we don't have to do that. We got a neck. Yeah, neck as well. I didn't do any separation on it. So if you look at the attribute, it only has the root attribute here. Yeah, here as well, we only have root neck cover, small parts attribute name here. And the other guys, we have one root attribute. So the one root object, root ear, and other parts will be like parts A and parts B. This one as well, we got a one root face, which will be a parent for other parts, and then the rest will be parts B, parts A, B, C, D, like that. Cool. Now the head model, we have like all large parts, mid parts, small parts name attribute. So I'm gonna just merge them together. And then connect this to the output of the soft network, and it's done. In this case, we should follow this approach because the head is, on the center, and we want to move like those plates, those blade on the opposite way, like this. So maybe just copy this guy, Control C, Control V, and we can keep this attribute longer as it is. And from here, the split node, we just need to select in a different way. Yeah, I selected this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and also this one. So they are going to move in opposite way based on its position. And yeah, it's running the for loop operation based on the connectivity. And if the center position of the each part is larger, is bigger than x, it's going to get the new index called left. Yeah, if the position is the lower the x-axis, it's gonna be the right. It will get the index called right. Okay. If you look at the name attribute, yeah, we got the left or right attribute at the end. Left or right. Nice. And then merge them together with the rest of the head parts. And then, yep, we are good for the naming attribute of the head. Thanks.